Emotional maturity isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual, deeply rewarding journey of self-awareness, understanding, and growth. It's not about being perfect but about navigating life with greater wisdom, resilience, and kindness. Here are 20 signs that you're on the path to emotional maturity, each highlighting ways you evolve emotionally as you grow. 1. Recognizing the roots of others' behavior. You start to understand that most bad behavior stems not from malice or idiocy, but from fear, anxiety, or pain. Instead of rushing to label someone as a monster or a fool, you develop a nuanced view of human nature. This perspective makes the world less black and white and far more interesting. By seeing others' vulnerabilities, you also become more empathetic and compassionate. 2. Communicating clearly. You realize that what's in your head isn't automatically understood by others. Clear articulation of your feelings and intentions becomes essential. Blaming others for not getting you is replaced by the awareness that communication takes effort. Words become tools of connection, not weapons of frustration. 3. Owning your mistakes. Emotional maturity means understanding that you're not always right. With courage, you begin to apologize sincerely. Owning up to your mistakes is no longer a source of shame but a stepping stone to personal growth and stronger relationships. 4. Finding confidence in shared humanity. True confidence comes not from thinking you're superior but from realizing that everyone is navigating life with the same fears and uncertainties. We're all making it up as we go along, and that's perfectly okay. This realization fosters humility and connection. 5. Forgiving your parents. You let go of the resentment you may have harbored toward your parents. They weren't here to insult or harm you. They were simply humans struggling with their own demons. Anger softens into understanding, and pity transforms into compassion. 6. Recognizing small influences on mood. You start to notice how small factors, like hunger, lack of sleep, or stress, affect your mood and reactions. As a result, you become more mindful about when and how you approach difficult conversations. Emotional maturity includes knowing when to pause, recalibrate, and ensure the conditions are right before tackling sensitive topics. 7. Letting go of grudges. Holding on to resentment becomes less appealing. You recognize that life is too short for prolonged bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting but understanding that carrying hatred harms you more than anyone else. You prioritize peace over being right. 8. Releasing perfectionism. You stop chasing perfection, in people, jobs, or life. Instead, you embrace the concept of good enough, coined by psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott. Life's imperfections don't diminish its value, they make it real and relatable. 9. Embracing balanced optimism. A slight shift toward pessimism can make you calmer and more patient. You prepare for challenges without losing hope, and you manage your expectations, which helps you handle disappointments with grace. 10. Appreciating strengths in weaknesses. You learn to view weaknesses in others as linked to their strengths. For example, a pedantic person might also be impressively precise and reliable. A messy individual might be wonderfully creative. Emotional maturity involves seeing the whole picture. 11. Falling in love more cautiously. Your infatuations are no longer instantaneous. You recognize that even the most charming or accomplished person has flaws. Love becomes less about blind idealization and more about embracing someone, imperfections and all. 12. Accepting your own challenges. You become aware of your own quirks and difficulties. Instead of hiding them, you warn others early in relationships about where you might fall short. This honesty fosters deeper connections and mutual understanding. 13. Forgiving yourself. You stop being your harshest critic. Beating yourself up for past mistakes gives way to self-compassion. You become your own ally, acknowledging your flaws without letting them define you. 14. Nurturing your inner child. Emotional maturity involves accepting that parts of you will always be childlike. Instead of suppressing these traits, you meet them with generosity. You allow yourself moments of regression without guilt, giving your inner 2-year-old the care and attention they need. 15. Finding joy in small moments. Happiness is no longer tied to grand plans or milestones. You start celebrating small victories. A kind word, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet evening with loved ones. Life's simple pleasures become sources of profound contentment. 16. Caring less about others' opinions. You stop worrying about how others perceive you. People's opinions, you realize, are often muddled by their own biases and preoccupations. What matters is being okay with yourself and the few people who truly matter to you. 17. Handling criticism gracefully. Instead of seeing criticism as an attack, you view it as an opportunity to grow. You listen with an open mind, reflect on the feedback, and decide what's worth acting on. Criticism no longer feels like a threat but a potential tool for improvement. 18. Seeking perspective. When life feels overwhelming, you remind yourself to step back. A walk in nature, time spent stargazing, or even playing with a pet can help you see your problems in a broader context. Emotional maturity involves finding solace in the vastness of the world. 19. Recognizing your emotional triggers. You become aware of how your past influences your present reactions. If certain events or behaviors trigger you, you pause to reflect rather than react. This self-awareness helps you navigate life with greater emotional stability. 20. Offering vulnerability in friendships. True friendship isn't about flaunting your achievements, it's about sharing your vulnerabilities. By opening up about your struggles, you make others feel less alone in theirs. Emotional maturity turns friendships into safe spaces for mutual support. Conclusion. Emotional maturity is a continuous journey of learning, unlearning, and growing. It's about embracing imperfection, in yourself and others, and finding beauty in life's complexities. The more you practice these signs of emotional growth, the richer your life becomes. So, how many of these signs resonate with you? Share your thoughts, and remember, emotional maturity is a process, not a destination.